Welcome back to the Tennissippi States Only Challenge, and when we might not be able to say that all too much more often, it's going to depend on how this team performs, with today being a big decision to make. As we start 1-2 this year, almost 2-1, it hasn't been the cleanest start for Joe Milton. He's had 7 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. His ratings, though, look pretty good in terms of throw power, accuracy. It's that awareness that just has continued to tank what he's able to do. With that, the question becomes, do we switch quarterbacks yet again, putting Dak Prescott out there? Now, last episode, he was hit with a double regression. At the beginning of the episode, where we started off after the Super Bowl, he had 89 throw power with about 92 deep accuracy. Well, then a little bit down the lines, we got hit with, coach looked at the tape. Prescott, he didn't look as good at the end of the year. So we're going to take away 4 more throw power and 4 more for the deep accuracy. So he only has 85 throw power, but he also has 85 awareness, which is close to 15 more than that of Joe Milton. The accuracies, they're in a similar spot. It's really just that throw power that's tanking what we might be able to do downfield. But considering how we started off last episode, I think we give the ball back to Prescott. And for any Kenny Arrington fans out there, I'm sorry, but he's getting passed up again. We're putting our one and only dev trait quarterback back out there to see if that will elevate this offense. Defensively, they have no excuse for playing as poorly as they have in pass defense. We've got a fantastic defensive line here that will force pass rush. Haven't really seen much of that to start the season. We've got an X factor here in Golson, Emerson and Ward, both star devs. You could put Dune into that mix, as he is also a star dev. And then you have Waller, who's the only normal dev. Pittman can cover, Watson can cover, Woods can cover. We've got every single cover person you could ask for. They need to start doing their job. And if they could start forcing turnovers as well, that would massively help out this team. So as we look to get at least through the trade deadline today, we start with a home game versus the fellow 1-2 Las Vegas Raiders. And as we get underway, we will start with a quarter sim. Dak helps us take an early lead here, 7-0 as we get through the first quarter. To start the second, we drive and double that lead, triple that lead, 21-0, though we do give up a late touchdown there in the first half. So 21-7 is the halftime score. And they're coming back here, though we do answer 28-14, 2-score lead. We saw that disappear last episode in our comeback win against the Colts. A 4th and 3 here. Raiders force a punt, and then they start with a big gain here. Brandon Ayuk, 16 yards. Again, it's been that cover defense that has struggled. A 3rd and 1 here. They pick up 6 with a rush from Blake Corum. They're out the 45. Penalty from Woods isn't going to help us out. They're at the 38 now with a 1st and 10. 7 more, get a first down. We will jump in, and that will do it with Tua. So with under 6 minutes left in this one, Raiders trying to make a comeback here. They go RPO Ayuk. He's going to rumble forward, pick up a gain of 7. And play straight out of college football there. Works out pretty well here in the NFL. 2 go up top. They hand it off. Corum, and he finds Pittman. 16 rushes, 51 yards. Not bad for either party. With a 3rd and 1 yet again here. They go back to Corum. He's got the first down and more. Getting dropped at the 8. Make it goal to go. Oh, I do have to say, fun to actually see Corum out here playing. I haven't seen him pop up yet here in, Madden 25 version 2. As they go back to him, Pittman meets him again, no gain. And honestly, they could take up as much time as they want rushing here. We're inside 4 minutes now. They need 2 scores. Of course, we saw again at the end of last episode how quickly we could give that up as Corum, shy of the goal line, about half a yard short. They'll get back to it here with a spread look, looking to throw the ball. He gets not picked off. Pittman had it in his hands. We talked about needing turnovers. Give up a perfect opportunity there, just as we did last episode against the Colts. 4th and goal at the half-yard line. Corum dives on in, back to a 1-score game. The only difference from last week is we are up by 7 instead of 5, but still an opportunity to put this game away. We start with a run, copy paste again from that Colts game. First down, doesn't gain a single yard. 2nd and 10 as we're letting that play clock roll. About 30 seconds away from the 2-minute mark here. Move inside 5 seconds. Then we motion DK. Eventually we do snap the ball, looking to set up a screen DK. And he trucks through the corner. He made him pay for that one. Prescott, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers as the 2-minute warning arrives. So perhaps, again, that awareness really is the difference maker. We've got a 3rd and 6 here, I form. As we do hand it off, it is eaten up. We call the timeout? Did we have an injury on the play? Yes, we did. Okay, that's the only reason that would make sense. And it is to right. He heads to the player tunnel. It's double bad news for us as the injury plus the timeout leaves 3 more here for Vegas as Tua heads onto the field. Having to roll, avoid the pressure. He throws with a great amount of accuracy there. Tight coverage from Richardson. It's Corum who gets the grab. Maybe I'm not too excited to see him out here. He's made a lot of plays on this defense so far. Well, minute 44. Tua throws across the middle. There goes Ayuk as he gets by the first down marker. Tua does have 2 touchdowns on the day and a turnover. An interception thrown. I would like more as we do get pressure. He finds his tight end at the sideline. Being extremely efficient here. They've only had to call 1 timeout. And they're already into plus territory here. 2nd and 3. Bunch up top. Tua, he's got time with an open Ayuk. With another first down, out of bounds at the 40. So far, a perfect drive for the Raiders. Can we end it here? With a single running back in the backfield. Tua's letting things develop. No pass rush. Wide open again. That one just puts him over 200 passing, so it's not like we're giving up a lot of passing yards until we seemingly jump into watch. Not sure what that exactly means. Dantzler chops out Laporta. They've got a 2nd and 4, under 50 seconds left. Inside the 25 as well, make that inside the 15, fighting for the 10. They mark Ayuk down at the 11. With 1 timeout still remaining, they are right next to the end zone. Tua throws, quick tackle on Ayuk, final timeout called with 29 seconds left. Now would be a great time for some pass rush. Also need some good coverage. We chop out. That was Dockery. We do get some pressure the opposite way. Wobbly passes caught by Ayuk. They tie the game as long as they hit the PAT. And once again, 2 weeks in a row. 1, how he got that pass off, I have no idea. 2, how it wasn't picked by Dantzler, still no idea. But that's 2 weeks in a row. We've given up a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. PAT to make it a tie game. And it's right down the middle. And honestly, that comes down to both the offense and the defense. Defense giving up the points. Offense couldn't run clock the last time. Now we got 23 seconds to try to find a winner here. As they bring pressure off the left-hand side, we get this one out for DK, and it's through his hands. That would have been about field goal range. Well, pretty disappointing there. Prescott put it in a good spot. You wish your wide receiver 1 can make that play. 18 seconds left now. They bump Knox. He gets a little bit of space, but somehow the 4 defenders crash on it instantly. Good news, at least for us, is Vegas doesn't have any timeouts, so we can try all these pop shots. Doesn't leave them with too many options, though DK gets some space, and he drops it again. So to overtime, it will be. How we keep giving up all of these plays late, I couldn't tell you, but at least we have the chance to take the lead as we start overtime with possession. At the 30, Dak Prescott. Let's go get a touchdown here and walk this game off. Split backfield, including DK. They bring the blitz. We throw in a spinning grab there from Hyatt. With a catch in traffic like that, perhaps we should have been targeting him on the deep throws and not DK. 2nd and 2 as we motion over. I believe that is DK. Either way, we hand it off here. And slipping the tackles goes Evans. What a play. We haven't heard any update on Wright. So for now, Evans is stepping in once again as running back 1 here for us. With a 1st and 10, a little bit shy of the midfield line. We got Knox in motion. Handing this one off, going back to Evans. He slips one and fights back to the line. Do wish they would clean things up a little bit and get that field goal marker off the field, as we no longer need it. Hyatt with another grab in tight coverage. Prescott moves over 250 passing with that catch. And now a 3rd and 2. We hand it off across the middle and stuffed with a 4th and 1. The coach keeps the offense out there. Goal line v goal line. We got a strong interior. Need to see it here as Foot picks up that 1st down. Looking to end this one here in overtime with a walk-off touchdown here. Prescott drifts back, loads up deep, 1v1, tipped away. Would have liked to see Hyatt attack the high point of that pass. Instead, he tried to catch it towards the ground. Leaves plenty of time for the defender to knock it away. 4-man rush. Receivers nearly collide. This time he does find Hyatt, leaving a 3rd and 3. Quickly getting on back to it as we're approaching 2 minutes left here in overtime, or at least taking up all the time that's on here. Maybe a tie game. That'd be a heck of a way to make it into the playoffs. With a 3rd and 3, 1st down. I believe that's the first catch we've seen from Cedric Tillman in a couple seasons, as we do move inside the 2-minute warning as well. With a 1st and 10 at the 31. Prescott, he's got the 1st down. DK, he holds on to that pass. He's probably the most inconsistent of all of our receivers. Haven't seen much from Mingo to start this season. He's in motion towards the top. Blitz brought, docked away. Good coverage. I believe Dak was trying to find Hyatt. So we got a 2nd and 10 then. 2 up top, 1 below is Knox. As once again they bring the blitz. We throw on the move. Hyatt slips the tackle, diving in. We walk off the Raiders. So we pull off the win in these games that we nearly give it up in back-to-back weeks. As we move forward, can we please just keep a 2-score advantage in the 4th quarter? I don't think it's too much to ask, but apparently here it is. But hey, this is the finale season of State's Only Challenge, so might as well make things a little bit more interesting than necessary. And that win does put us in a very interesting spot here as we reach the Texans week. Texans also lost during that week, so they dropped to 2-2. We jump above them. Jaguars also 2-2, and we do face them pretty soon. But first is Texans, then the Packers, then the Jags. But we will be without Jalen Wright for all those games plus more, as he actually broke his collarbone in that game. He's out for 6 weeks. So our running back group is yet again looking pretty thin. And as our defense seemingly does better when we're not watching, we're going to start yet again here with a quarter sim. 6-0 is how we end that 1st quarter. And I believe that was a touchdown with a missed point after. We do hit a field goal and a 2nd field goal, then get some more points. We are way ahead right now, simply to put 29-0. And I'm wondering if we ever even should jump into this game with how our defense has handled things. 43-7 to end the 3rd quarter. I think we get to the end of this game unless we start to see a massive comeback here from the Texans. They do score twice, but they run out of time. A decisive victory, 43-20 over a division rival that keeps us up here with the Colts. Now, if the Colts lost, we could be back in 1st place here of the AFC South. And thanks to the Jaguars, that is exactly the case. Jacksonville beat Indianapolis 20-17. We are now at the top of the AFC South. But that also means that 3 of the 4 teams are all 3-2. We play Jacksonville next week. We have the Packers in between, who are 2-3. Then after the Jaguars game, we have the 2nd game against the Colts. We'll get that series done rather early. That is also our trade deadline week. So heading into this Packers game, if we could do the same thing as we did against the Texans, I would love to start to just snowball some wins here. We'll have to see if we could pull off these wins on the road. It's a good start. We do give up a field goal to answer, so 7-0 is the end of the first quarter. To start the second, we get a touchdown. We give up a touchdown, 14-10, as that is your halftime score. So getting on into the third quarter then with that lead. Driving, kind of goes back and forth, but we do get a touchdown, get a second touchdown, 28-10. Let's slow things down just to make sure nothing goes awry here, as technically this is not a two-score game. We do give up a first down there, 28-10, but a sack coming on in from Deo. That's big. Then a penalty against their center makes it a second and long, and Morgan Pittman takes it away. If we find a touchdown here, I'd feel pretty comfortable with us finishing this game out strongly. As we are driving down the field, we do not get that touchdown. 4th and inches, we do hit the field goal. It is a 21-point game. Barring anything crazy like a gigantic gain, 3rd and 1, they're denied, thrown away. We take back over, and it looks like we can start to drain some clock, but Packers scored very quickly, and they have the ball yet again. I don't know if that was a pick six or not, but they will get a garbage time touchdown here, as we do run out the clock. So it got a little bit crazier than it needed to be. 31-25, we pick up the 6-point win, and that makes it 3 wins in a row. Dak Prescott has not lost a game this season. And that sends us straight on into the Jaguars game. With a win, we could start to separate in this division, but play one is a pick 6. We are clearly doing much better while we are not watching. Harriman takes it to the house, which is ironic because we just went through a scenario saying we could take advantage of him. Well, I think he just took advantage of Dak Prescott. So perhaps getting back to another turnover. First play of both drives is a turnover. Jaguars take over. They're already in plus territory with an early opportunity to go up by 2 scores. A penalty from Deo will help them out. 3rd and 2, they pick up that first down. 13 more yards has them goal to go, or actually no, just outside the 10. 2nd and goal. Joe Burrow rushes for 5. And then they get 5 more to Jaden Peters. Immediately, Jacksonville Jaguars take a 14-0 lead. And we're even getting penalized on the kickoff. So starting back at the 7, after not being able to have a single drive go by one play or we turn it over, we do not do that on this drive. This is already our best drive of the game. We get a gain of 4. We need touchdowns as we are down 14-0 here. What do we got, Dak? Well, motioning out Evans. He goes up top. Bunch down to the bottom with an empty set. Prescott goes to that bottom, finding DK. Honestly, I feel like we mostly just use him as a smoke screen, but occasionally he does get that catch. To go either side as we motion down Mingo. He'll become the slot receiver. As we target him, he spins off 2 tacklers and he picks up that first. I believe it was in the first game of the episode. We didn't really get to watch much of the last couple, but we talked about not seeing much of Mingo. First time he gets that catch. As we got a motion here, Knox going back up top. We'll stick with the pass. Prescott threw it very well. Knox couldn't hold on to it. Feel like we're having a few more drops this season than in seasons prior. Not the year to be doing that. The 2nd and 10, deep drop here for Dak. On the move, he rushes towards the defense and gets dropped for a massive loss. So how about a 3rd and 21? With trips down to the bottom, he's got Knox at the top. Running back in the backfield is Gainwell. As Dak is rolling again, he throws it away, and this is a horrific start. Let's see if the boys can just fight their way back on into this one. 17-7 is where we do end the first quarter. Though Jacksonville is extending that lead, we do manage a field goal. Could use a touchdown before half, and we find it, but we give up more points before halftime. 31-17. And they immediately score. Luckily, we also score. And we're back to a 1-score ball game here. And I believe we have the ball at the midfield line. Do we risk coming out here? Well, we're going to. With a 2nd and 4 to start the 4th quarter. We motion out Evans. Dak will throw across the middle. He gets the first down. DK will no longer have that first down because he took the big hit and didn't go down. All right then, no forward progress. It's 3rd and inches. We got a strong I form here. As we go play action, we got foot wide open at the top. We throw it out late, and he throws it out of bounds. Seems like whatever momentum we had heading into this game, we haven't had it though. The offense stays out as we are inches shy of the first. We will get the ball to foot this time. And despite getting suplexed, we do get forward progress. It's a first down. So how about let's find the end zone. Let's tie this game up 38-38. That sounds good to me. Knock on wood, cross your fingers. As Evans takes the handoff here, he picks up 2. He's averaging just 3.6 a rush. And in fact, he gets shaken up on that play. So we are down to 1 running back currently on roster. I think we have 1 on the practice squad, maybe 1 on IR we could pull off. And Dak Prescott just threw another pick. I believe that is the same man who got the pick 6 to start the game. Indeed it is. It'll take advantage of Perriman? I think not. Gotta find a way to get back into this one, yet still a sack there from Reynolds as he checks in. But then we give up 16 on a 3rd and 10. Jaguars trying to draw this division back even closer. Colts were already, I believe, tied with us in record. We had the first game against them with the win. We meet them right after this Jacksonville Jaguars game, and Joe Burrow just ran it in for a touchdown. We now have about 3 minutes, 15 seconds to find 2 scores to tie. So talk about inconsistent play. It is dead quiet here in Tennessee. Not a single noise. Crickets could be heard over the crowd here today. As Dak goes to the left-hand side, he finds Mingo, who will get 7 and out of bounds. Prescott does have 4 touchdown passes on the day, but he also has thrown 4 interceptions. Let's not make that 5 interceptions here, as he will just look to scramble, getting that first down safely. We get back to the line. Got to find as many yards as we can, as quickly as we can, because we need some points. Halfback screen, get a nice block there. Gainwell will sprint out of bounds with a gain of 8. Now the problem I'm running into here is if we do find this touchdown, do we trust the defense to get a stop, or do we go for an onside kick? Well, first we got to throw that ball out. Shouldn't be caught thinking of touchdowns when we still have about 47 more yards to go. So 3rd and 2 here. We get motion on the right-hand side. It was Mingo. They actually cover him pretty well. They're going deep for Hyatt, and it's jarred away. Kind of looked like first read was covered up, so Prescott heaved it. 4th and 2 now. Hard count, no one jumps. Empty set here for Prescott, as they'll go with the quick slant, getting the catch. Jalen Hyatt quickly getting on back to it then as we do continue this drive. Spread look here. Gainwell out over at the slot to the right-hand side. Jump ball here for Mingo. And he gets speared in the back. Never mind the jump ball. Looked like it might have been more of like a back shoulder grab with the defender with, I can't say dirty hit, but a rough hit for sure. Not listed as a catch. They say Hyatt didn't get the feet in bounds. So 3rd and 10 here. We've got 2:13, obviously still in 4-down territory. Prescott's going to have motion. That's Cedric Tillman. As Prescott just looks to run as he was under pressure. It's 4th and 8. They called a timeout there. Smart call there from coach, because if you don't get the first down, well, then there's no real point of having the timeout. Trips go to the right-hand side, Knox to the left. Prescott. He throws. He finds Hyatt, who slips back underneath. Tried to break it all the way to the outside. A huge play there on 4th in the 2-minute warning. A little bit of a risky throw as well there from Prescott. Linebackers were lurking. He just put it in a really good spot. Tried to find it again. Much better job there from the linebacker. 2nd and 10 then, as they change up the look a little bit here. This time they got Hyatt motioning to the left. Letting the play develop. Got DK, but he threw it too far to the inside. That is a loss to the Jags. Take advantage of the corners? I think not. That is a humbling game as we move back on into another divisional game against the Colts. If we won this one, that one would have been for the lead. Instead, we drop to bottom of our division, though only a half game out of first. And as we get the second Colts game underway here, 0-0 yet again is the scoreline to end that first quarter. A very defensive battle, though. We grab the lead before halftime, 7-3. Can we start to take claim here in the third? Well, they tie the game up. We find a field goal. And as we enter the fourth quarter, we might need to slow things down a little bit here, as the Colts are in possession. 3rd and 8, they only get 3. Field goal unit ties this game. I feel like we should only jump in if we are down inside the red zone. Hyatt, though, he picks up a gain of 15 to start. Evans with a gain of 5. First down for Jonathan Mingo. 5 more back to Evans. I like the balance so far. DK picks up a grab. We're inside the 35, inside the 25, almost the red zone. First down, we will jump in, or honestly, if we score, I'm fine with that. A 3rd and 1. Touchdown, Jonathan Mingo. We take the lead here, 17-10. About 4.5 minutes left in this game. Just with how it's gone so far today, I don't want to jump in because we've played our worst while we're watching. So only we'll do that if we have to. 15-yard gain goes Stanley Gilchrist. He's had a couple big plays against us throughout our time here, and a penalty from Deo puts them inside the 20. Now, they were already driving, so it's not like I could do anything worse here. As they are at the 19, dropping back, Hurts goes up top, gets a nice pass to Gilchrist. They're at the 6. Hurts, though, under 150 passing, no touchdown, no interception for him. Defense has done well today, only giving up 10 points. Trying to make that the same. Sack goes Dockery. His second on the day with a little extra shove there at the end. 2nd and goal as we approach the 2-minute warning. We only rush the 4. Quick pass is dropped. Golson jars it away from Black. And we've got a 3rd and goal. Obviously 4 down territory. Time technically for 2 plays before that 2-minute warning, depending on how quickly they go. As Hurts scrambles, Dockery, he doesn't contain. Diving touchdown. The Colts tie this one up just before the 2-minute warning. They had a chance to run that same play last year. Dockery got the tackle. Actually, no, it was Sam Williams. Just couldn't quite find the angle. Now, with just over 2 minutes left, we're jumping out here with the offense. I don't know, the vibes just aren't sitting right for me to let them go for it themselves. Throwing it away, that we had a receiver in the area. Are they going to get us still with a penalty? They are. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, obviously we were still very much in the pocket, but again, we had a receiver in the area. I've seen CPU throw it away much worse with no one close to the area. Gainwell tried the spin, couldn't hit it, but he does pick up 11. Why it was 2nd and 21, that I don't quite understand. Prescott here with a hard count, no one jumps. 3rd and 10. We'll snap the ball here. They've got Hyatt with some green grass, but he slows down to get the catch. That might be the arm strength of Dak Prescott coming into effect there, who only has 3 incomplete passes in this game. And as we are most definitely in field goal range now, we can look to slow things down. As Evans shows a little shake and bake, he picks up 4. Colts do end up calling those timeouts. They've got just 1 more remaining. A 3-man front for him as well here. As we hand this one off, Gainwell, he bounces it to the outside. He's got grass, but he slows down to go down inbounds. Timeout call. They're trying to make sure they use up as much time as possible, leaving no timeouts, but taking a lead. Gainwell, he gets stacked up. Fine by us. Let that clock roll. And surprisingly, the Colts don't bring out a DT. Might be to plan here. Looks like Dak will snap this one 1 second on the play clock. And Evans takes off some time, a couple seconds there before he finds the go-ahead score. We'll make it 24-17 with 27 seconds left. No timeouts for the Colts. The real question is, do we still feel safe enough to be watching here? 25 seconds. Colts need a touchdown. They go up top. Broken up. Charvarius Ward. Now they're just in time to jar that one away too. Maybe a half step earlier. Might be looking at a pick. 21 seconds. 2 down to the bottom, 1 up top here for Hurts, who lofts the throw out of bounds. Well, that looks just like the intentional grounding we had. Where is the penalty on that one? Maybe not as much pressure on that one. That might be the difference. Who knows? Either way, not fair. Probably because we're on the road. Trips go up top. As Hurts, he's got a little bit of time, lofting it again, and he throws it away. That should be 2 straight intentional groundings and potentially a turnover on downs there. I don't think that's how that works, but that's how I would like it to work. With 13 seconds left, they're going to flip it. They're going to send 4 up to the top. Their tight end, McBride, now at the bottom. Hurts practicing his squat form here. Sending Bijan now back to the bottom. He sets up a block. Hurts throws, knocked away. That is your ball game. And with that, depending on how some of the other divisional games have gone this week, we might be back atop the AFC South, going from the cellar to the attic. But before we could move on and find out the results of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston Texans game, as they were both 4-3 along with us, we are in week 8. After the game, we could still make one final trade or sets of trades. So I think it is only right for us to go check out all players who are top tier, who we still have not brought in, and see if we could find a fit and a trade. And of the 3 highest overall players still left for us to go after, one being Trey Smith, offensive line we don't need, the second also being an offensive lineman, one that we traded away to help bring in a lot of different talent, Laramie Tunsil. But there is one spot I'm not exactly sure how it fits in, but we might be able to sort something out here going after A.J. Brown. Now, obviously, we have Hyatt. We really like Hyatt. We have Metcalf. Metcalf hasn't always performed that well for us out there. But I'm wondering, well, Mingo has played very well. If we also put A.J. Brown into this mix, will he perform for us? One, also, do we even have what it takes to make a trade for him? Well, taking a look at what A.J. Brown has done, he's coming off a 1,000-yard season. He had 9 touchdowns that year. Midway point here would put him just over 1,000 and about 8 touchdowns. So a slight step back, but he's still a really solid receiver. He is only a star dev, no longer an X Factor, which I'm assuming he was at the start of this, or even a superstar. But again, the ratings just look really good. So I'm curious what we might be able to do here for A.J. Brown. If we ask what they're interested in, well, they say no offers, but we might be able to work something out. And turns out they're a bit more willing than they thought. A.J. Brown joins the team. We give up a 1st and a 3rd round pick, both in the future and both of which we couldn't use anyway. We add some extra talent here at the receiving group. And to make some room, the receiver that we drafted, we're going to send him to the practice squad. Now, he very well could be stolen, but we now have 4 receivers, 80 plus overall, and 2 really good guys then to follow. There is no excuse for this offense to not be bringing in the points. And in terms of how we're going to have the lineup actually sort out, we're going to put A.J. Brown receiver 1. Hyatt is going to stay receiver 2. He needs to be out there because he's consistently making plays while DK is not. So what we're going to do then is when Hyatt still goes to slot receiver, then Metcalf will slide out and play that receiver 2 role on the outside. Unfortunately for guys like Mingo, that leaves him kind of that next guy up for the outside and next guy up for the slot as well. So he's just going to be overall that guy we're going to look to when we need to go for spread. Now, good news is we are not at the bottom of our division right now. We are 2nd though, with that half game behind Jacksonville because they destroyed us in that game. So we'll need to get revenge on them. The Colts are a full game behind us because we have swept them this season. Houston, they are 4-4. This is a very tight division, and we're holding 3 of 7 of the playoff spots if it were to end now, but we're only at the halfway point of the season. New England, they are 8-0. Cincinnati 5-2, and Kansas City Chiefs also 5-2, and we just so happen to be playing against them here to wrap out the episode. And in this one, I want to focus a little bit more in on the offense. So we'll only jump in and watch the defense in key situations as Kansas City. They are moving the ball here with Bucky Irving, with now Brock Bowers getting the 11-yard grab already into plus territory. Sack comes in though with Jose Dockery. We need a lot of that. Right back to Bucky Irving with the run, and then thrown away by Jordan Love. So the defense does end up getting the stop as a punt is forced. No yards on the return, so we're starting at the 6. Our first look here with Dak Prescott and A.J. Brown. As we actually start with a run, Gainwell will pick up 2. We should be close to getting back right as well for the second half of the season, so that'll just be another player added to this offense. Again, no excuses left. Play action. Dak goes deep downfield and too short for Metcalf. Sauce Gardner couldn't ask for an easier pass to swap there. 3rd and 8. Trip down to the bottom. Got Knox up top. They rush 4. Dak drifts back, throws again, and once again, it is a little bit too short. Get some height. We might have had some big plays. Unfortunately, it's a 3 and out. So in a little bit of trading field position here, they take over at the 35. Picking up 5, leaves 3rd and 5. They get 5, and they're going to say that's enough for the first down, even here in our own home stadium. Get a nice gain there. Jaden Reed back for another first down. 13 more. Bowers has them inside the red zone. And we could use with a little bit more noise here from the crowd. Your team is not doing bad. We are 5 and 3, taking on a 5 and 2 Chiefs. As Love throws. How are we not picking off all of these passes? Woods, you were a safety in college. You should make that kind of play. That's a lot of missed opportunities when it's come to turnovers for us. Love an X Factor. Not sure how I feel about that, but Golson breaks it up. He's our X Factor. Though, do have to be honest, don't feel like he really makes huge plays for us. But he probably locks down a good amount of receivers. 3rd and 10. Wide open. Chiefs crack that scoreboard as they find Brock Bowers wide open at the goal line. Hopefully this go around with the offense will be better as we actually have some space behind us. It's an I form to start as we hand this one off. Gainwell, he bounces it to the outside. Good blocking. Sprinting down the sideline and down around the opposite 39. And that finally has a little bit of noise here inside the stadium. You would imagine this stadium with the area it's in would be rocking as there goes Hyatt. That is the kind of passes we needed last drive. Height on it, as the lack of arm strength couldn't be seen there. Near 40-yard strike for Prescott. Now can we just see the defense pick up a stop, give our offense an opportunity to take the lead, while Brock Bowers apparently being a problem for us. And so is Luke Johnson as they're down to the 23. So with a little bit of back and forth, Chiefs have an opportunity to retake a lead here, especially after that big gain from their receiver, Love. He takes the snap, goes across the middle, and jarring it away is Golson. If only we could start to turn some of these breakups into turnovers, that would really help out. Reed does get the catch that time. And that leaves the Chiefs needing 2 here on 3rd. Bunch down to the bottom, 1 up top is Reed. Love will look to throw. 4-man rush. Hits home. Dockery and Deo. Really need the defensive line to come through in this one. I don't feel like we've seen too many sacks. We'll check the stats at the end as a little half-season update. But a field goal is good. So in terms of pace from here, we will quicken it. We'll start to watch any drive from the offense that gets into plus side territory after the loss. There, A.J. Brown, we missed the first catch for him. He picks up 15. And then 8 there, we'll get the first down. We'll jump on in. Or go ahead and score. I'll take that. Jalen Hyatt, 2nd of the day. Last time was about 40. This one about 50. As we do take the lead 14-10 with that PAT made. And it didn't pop up in the score tracker, so pulling it up here, top of the list, a 96-yard touchdown goes DK Metcalf. Where has that been the previous 4.5 seasons? We take a 21-10 lead. And we will take that lead into the second half. Actually, midway through the third quarter, Chiefs finally get themselves into plus territory. They are down by 11. Handing this one off. A good tackle there from Dune. Talked about how good he was going to be. We haven't really called his name much this season, but he picks up a good tackle there. Maybe see some strong play later on in this season. Though honestly, on defense, I feel like DB-wise, the less you're calling players' names, the better their coverage probably is. At that point, the only time you do call their name is when they get a turnover, and we just haven't forced very many of them. First down there for the Chiefs, though, as they are just outside the 30. Four-man rush. Love goes up top. Wide open is Reed, and he will get smacked down there with a gain of 9.5. So far, putting together a good game here against one of the top teams, Chiefs, leading their division. With a possible win here, and maybe some games goes our way, we could be top of ours. Reed, though, back again inside the 10. I feel like where we typically see the worst coverage for us is this zone. I feel like we're a little bit better with man, but can't quite change the play calling here. Big hit coming in from Dune. He keeps Johnson out of the end zone with a second and goal there at the about 1.5. Single back set here, bunch up top. Love will hand it off with a cutback lane wide open. Bucky Irving narrows the deficit here for the Chiefs, though they are trying to narrow that even more, and they will. 2-point try is good. It's now a 3-point game, thanks to Olave. But our offense looking to answer back. To start the fourth quarter here, we've moved into plus territory. Still with that 3-point game. Nice grab down to the bottom. Changed so quickly, couldn't see who got the catch. But we are locking down a pretty good pass rush defensive line here. Fourth in terms of total sacks as a team, only one so far today. Second and 1. Dak, he's loading up deep. And it's brought in Hyatt. His third touchdown of the day puts us back up by 10. Take one more look at this. Under pressure, releases a missile. And Hyatt with the strong hands. Now can the defense pick up a stop? Well, on first down, they do gain 5. Second and 5, thrown away by Jordan Love. And then picking it up by himself on third with a rush of 9. Knocked away by Dune, so he's getting a little bit more involved here. Though Luke Johnson does then pop up with a gain of 16. They are into plus territory here. A penalty will move them back. Sean Todd. Second and 15, they gain 4. Olave. And then 10 more going back to Johnson. A third and 2. That math doesn't math, but that does. First down inside the 20. Love trying to pull him back here. We are up by 2 scores in the fourth. We've seen plenty of examples of why that may not be good for us. Two receivers either side, and Jard free. That time, Charvarius Ward. With a second and 10 still at the 16. Sticking with a tight set here in shotgun. Jordan Love. He's got time, and he finds his target across the middle, this time number 15. That is Burnett. They've gotten really all their receivers at least a catch or 2 in this one, as they do a slight motion there with Bowers and a diving touchdown saving play. Golson. Amazing acrobatics there. Does send out the field goal unit to try to make this a touchdown game. It's a chip shot, and it is up and through. And following a massive return here by the former tight end, now receiver in Belton, we're starting at the 41, and we are definitely going to be in charge of this drive, as the team has not managed these situations very well. First off, I want to make sure that we are running clock. We also want to make sure we're getting our blocks here as Evans finds the cutback lane. A big tackle there. I want to say Hufunga, but he essentially comes over and spears Evans. He gets up just fine here, as we've got motion from the right-hand side. DK will be a distraction as Evan takes the handoff again. Him and Hufunga meet for the second time. This time a better end for both parties. We're not speared. They only give up 1. Now Gainwell checks in at running back. Good blocking to the second level. Keeping those legs churning. He picks up a nice gain and sends us to the 2-minute warning as well. 3rd and 2. A big down here. We got the I form, and Evans gets the first down. Timeout starting to be called by the Chiefs. We've been running a pretty simplistic drive here on offense, running pretty much every single play, and by pretty much it's been every single play. Gainwell, though, he gets corralled here, 1st and 10. And a timeout called as Gardner is shaken up. He's going to actually head through the player tunnel here. Late on in this one, they would have had to call a timeout either way, as Evans gets slowed up by his own lineman. Still goes as a gain of 3. Final timeout called, a 3rd and 6. Hyatt in motion here. They give him the ball. He's had all the touchdowns today as he looks for the dagger here, trying to go down inbounds with no timeouts left. That is it for the Chiefs. A big win here for us. So again, we'll finish by checking some stats and checking those standings, but we take down one of the top teams here in the AFC and potentially stake our claim being one of those top teams. But we will pick up here next time. The top team in the AFC South, currently the 3 seed. We are 6-3, Kansas City 5-3. 5-3 is also the Colts right behind us, so good thing that we've swept them. Jacksonville did get that game on us, but we have a decent little gap there. Houston as well, 5-4. Cincinnati 6-2, and New England 8-1 are the only other teams above us in the standings. So while we started the season off rough, today was a big step towards getting to that postseason and hopefully finding this challenge complete in the final season. Finishing off with a quick stat update, our offense is number 1 in total yards. Defensively, we've moved up a little bit. We're 25th. We were, I think, 30th last we checked. Prescott, 23 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. It did prove to be a good choice to put Prescott back in, as Milton had thrown the same amount of interceptions on about 100 less passes. 72% complete is Prescott. As for the rushing game, Wright is still our leading running back despite the fact he hasn't played in about 5 to 6 weeks. Evans is close to surpassing him, but it's coming on a lot more attempts, about 12. Average therefore is a little bit lower. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. It'll be nice to get Wright back next episode. Maybe it'll be that final piece for the offense. Jalen Hyatt is already a 1,000-yard receiver. We just played the middle game of the season, so he could really just go off in this one. Already has 13 touchdowns. We saw 3 of them, 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them in that final game. DK Metcalf, 7 touchdowns this year. We just added AJ Brown, so I expect a tear to happen with this group. Knox is also performing well, and Mingo was also doing pretty well in terms of touchdowns, 6. He will see some rotation. As for the offensive line, doing pretty well here. Covington has given up 6 sacks though, so maybe clean that up a little bit. Defensively, Pittman 62 tackles. TFL leader is Chris Jones, already 2 shy of double digits. Williams with 6, Pittman with 5. Deo has 4 as well as Dockery. Sacks, Deo is our leader with 6.5, Dockery with 5. Only 2.5 for Williams, 3 from Jones. Interceptions, 2 for Golson, Pittman, Woods, and Ward. 1 extra for Emerson. And an okay season so far here for Jake Elliott. 32 of 33 on his extra points, 11 of 13 on his field goals. As for those misses, he did miss 1 from inside 29 yards. He did make all of his from 29 to 39. He made all of his from 39 to 49, and then he did miss 1 from 50 plus. Next up, we'll pick up with this Vikings game and then a quick turnaround to the Texans game. And we'll get to the point of the season, and depending on how the team does, we'll either fly through the second half of the season or it could be broken up into 2 or so episodes. We will find out. If we blow out teams, we'll get through it quickly. With the second-ranked offense in points per game and first in passing yards, I expect our offense is going to take a good step forward. Just need the defense to follow suit to make sure you don't miss. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down to the sub button and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. College Football 25 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as this series comes to a close, we'll pick up. I'm leaning towards going to a true franchise here, as we have not sat down and played a full Madden game in quite some time. Let me know your comments on that down below, and we will see you next time.